big win on the road. I think right now, I mean, any win's a big win. I think any win on the road in this conference is tough to get. There's good football teams, good coaching, and it's tough in those type of environments to go in there and get a W. So it was a big win for us. I think we made plenty of mistakes. There was opportunities to. I would like to seal that game away a little earlier. I thought we had an opportunity to do that. Went in at halftime, felt good, 14-7. But I thought as well as we were outplaying them, it wasn't indicative of the score. We probably, I felt we should have went in there something 21-0 at the half. So we came out in the second half, and I thought the opening drive was good. We take it down, put points on the board, and then Lamar, did some good things. And they're a good football team. They're on scholarship too. And, they pull it real close. They're at 17-14, and I think the Robert Alford punt return for the touchdown was huge. Obviously, the momentum shift kind of takes the air out of them there. It makes it goes back to a two-possession ball game. We go at 31-20, at 31-14. We're going down to kind of seal the touchdown and hopefully get some points on the board and ice it over with. And we throw the pick six. It goes 96 yards. That again. It makes it a little closer ball game than it should have been, or it actually was. But I'm pleased right now. I'm pleased we went on the road. We got the W. Again, it was a first, I guess, in a while, and it's good for again helping create that confidence in our players. And hopefully we'll just continue that. It's going to build feet on it for the next couple games. Any questions?
Talk about what you've been able to do with the pass defense. One area that has really kind of stood out.
Yeah, I was pleased with it. I thought coming into the season, I thought we had the talent to be successful back there. I think we have. I think two things we've done. We've been able to pressure the quarterback, and we've been able to put pretty good pass coverage back there. I think we made some vast improvements. We're not where we want to be as a football team, but I think when you act about where we came from and the improvements we've made as a football team, especially in that area specifically, I think it's pretty huge. I mean, to give credit to the coaches, I think we've done a great job. And I think right now, that's an area I feel really good about. I think we've made some huge steps defensively across the board. And going to a game like this weekend with UAB, it's going to be huge. We're going to have to play great defense against these guys. They got some talent. Again, you can say they're 0-4, but the people they lost to, the people they competed against, and anytime when you go to that FCS to FBS, there's a difference in talent on the field. There's a lot of difference in the talent that's out there on that football field, and it's going to be a huge challenge for us.
How is Michael Chaney doing health-wise?
I won't know specifically till he gets an MRI on Wednesday, and we'll know where he's at.
With his status coming up in the year, I just was it good to see Xavier Roberson kind of step up on Saturdays?
We think Xavier's going to be a good player. He's a freshman, and obviously you're trying to wean him in, move him, slide him into those roles before he can be successful. And but obviously, Michael down, then that's put a lot of the burden is going to come on Blaine LeBlanc and Xavier Roberson, and obviously now we're back to Rasheed Harrell, who we're probably going to pull his redshirt. He's a freshman out of Miami that we were trying to do everything we could to redshirt him. The way things look right now, probably won't be able to. And he's an exciting player with the ball in his hands. He's another one. Again, when he touches the football, he can make some things happen.
Yeah, Ryan in on a couple of series. Did you guys game plan that in by opponent, or is it kind of with the flow of the game and kind of doing things like that?
No, we have the package there, I think, but that was kind of specific to the game plan for them going in there. But we always have the ability to bring him in, flow of the game or whatever, to do the things that he can do well. I think that was a big spark for us offensively. Again, big part of us being able to run the football and do that, and it was very good to see. And also he completed a huge fourth down conversion on a boot and then a touchdown later. Big passes.
Looking at UAB, they kind of seem to have a similar offense to y'all, that they have a lot of success in the air, but not necessarily so much in the run. Is that something you've also
Yeah, well, they've got, their talent. They've got 3 receivers. I mean, they've got several more than that, but they got 3 receivers that run as well as anybody in the country. I mean, they can go. I think one of them was a state champion in the state of Alabama. They can fly. And they're playing 2 quarterbacks, and I don't know if they're trying to figure out which one's their trigger guy or not. They're kind of going back and forth on that. But they have one guy, number 11, played the majority of the game versus Tulsa, and they've thrown the ball effectively. They're throwing for 330 a game. They're throwing the ball real effectively. They played some pretty stout defenses, and they haven't run the football, but you run on Ohio State and South Carolina, Troy and Tulsa. That's a pretty large task to take up there anyway.
What does it tell you about them, the way they played, leading in the second quarter at South Carolina, leading in the second quarter at Ohio State?
Yeah, they're a very talented team. I think Coach B's done a heck of a job. I think he's in that process trying to turn the program around. I understand where he's at. They're playing well, and then you see them shoot themselves in the foot. They're playing well, get it down there and throw a pick, go down there and take a sack, fumble the ball. They're playing good defense, and somebody will blow a coverage. They'll play good defense. They won't get lined up right, and they get gashed. So they're kind of right now. I think they're a dangerous team because they're their own worst enemy, and if they get that figured out, they're a danger to anybody on a Saturday.
Does any of that sound familiar?
Yeah.
To you?
Oh yeah. I think our probably notebooks look a lot alike. Yeah.
What kind of defense do they play?
They're a 4-man front basically. They're going to start in a 4-man front, run a 4-2-5, and then they're going to slide into run a 3-4. They've been mixing it up pretty good. It's 2 different. They do a lot of things on defense. They bring a lot of pressure. He's pressuring over 50% of the snaps. He's bringing 5 or 6. So that can create some problems. And they're real good inside on defense. Their inside people, D linemen, are very good. They were very successful. Those inside guys very successful against Ohio State and South Carolina and stuff. Stopping the run. They're very physical, big guys inside. So.
Did you worry about the timing of this game? I mean, you got 2 wins in conference, and then you go out of conference with does that concern you at all?
I wouldn't draw it up like that. No, I prefer not to go out of conference right now. I mean, because we've got our sights set, conference play, and here we go, and things we got to do. So we just got, right now we just focus on ourselves, try to get better this week, and then obviously set our sights back next week and make sure we've got our sights fully focused on Northwestern.
Do the players get a little bit more motivated going up against an FBS team, or do they see it kind of just as a break from Southland play?
No, I mean, I think there's going to be a little excitement and motivation on that part as well. Just you're in a Legion field going against the FBS team. That's got to bring some excitement to the game itself. Just right there, you're playing one of the all-time great stadiums in the country. I think that's a heck of an experience there.
So, Coach, what's your message to your guys this week, stepping out of conference play, kind of getting out of focus because you're all in the conference state of mind?
Yeah, no, I mean, we're not. I mean, they're not going to get out of focus or anything like that. Our big thing, I've been saying, probably every week in here, our biggest focus is to be on ourselves, still elimination errors, and learning how to execute in critical times, and those type of things. There's not going to be that rivalry up. We're going to miss that the opportunity to face an in-conference opponent, that rivalry, get up to somebody, whether in-state, out-state, but those conferences that you're familiar with. It's just a different flavor in your mouth on that, but it's kind of going back to maybe another preseason game, what it really is. And, it's just a chance for our players to get better. It's a chance for us to show our talents against somebody and get a chance to compete at a very high level.
What kind of work are you doing with your players to kind of offset the amount of penalty yards you're getting a game?
Well, it depends. There's 2 types of penalty. There's the foolish, undisciplined, penalties. It's those things. You try to put them in those situations in practice as much as possible to get that done. To understand, it's a discipline and to take care of their job, not jumping off sides, things like that. And then there's another set. There's the aggressive penalties you make that again are teetering big part of that was, I mean, I think a lot of us, we really haven't had a chance to, we haven't returned a punt this year. That was Rob's first actual return. So some of the blocks and stuff we talked about, you know, again, you got to get wider on the block and not trailing. You know, you can't go nose to butt trailing down the field. Expect to pick up a block. You got to get with, and, you know where the turn's going, and you know, there were some coaching opportunities in that. So a lot of us. Besides that, I'm trying to think of a couple of penalties. You know, the pass interference penalty. I mean those. I don't concern myself with you know, when a kid's playing aggressive, playing hard. Sometimes those things are going to happen, whether they do or they don't. When they throw the flag, sometimes that's going to happen when kids are playing aggressive, you know, pass defense.
Statistically, you've done a pretty good job of pressuring quarterbacks, and looking at their numbers, they've given up some sacks this year, but it's hard to read that because of who they've played.
Right.
But you're looking probably at a freshman quarterback. Is this a game where you kind of dial it up a little bit with your pressure? Is this a game that you need to try and get after?
Yeah, I feel comfortable about that. We can get them in third and long. You know, I think the whole process is going to come down to really just defensively is going to be just stopping the run and getting them in second and long, third and long situations. They do a real big, great job of throwing the screen game. They threw the screen game counted for 200 yards versus Tulsa. Whereas they threw for 330, but I think 200 of those yards came on screens. Which they do a really good job of that. They have executed that well versus Ohio State, Tulsa, all throughout the season. They've done a good job of that. And we're going to have to do a big job of that, tackling those guys on the perimeter. But we can get them on third and long. We have to go to drop back pass and do that. I feel real comfortable about the blitz package, pressure package we'll be able to bring at them, and I think we'll be able to size and disguise it up pretty well and give the quarterback different looks. And that's tough, I think, for a freshman quarterback to look at some of the things we're doing and to be able to diagnose where he goes with the football. I mean, it's hard for some older guys to do that. So, I think the big key is us to be able to stop the run and put them in those situations where it's not a run pass option, and make them go back to a drop back pass and let us be able to tee it up and go after them.
You talked about the screen game last week with Lamar, and obviously you did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think we did. I think we did a real good job of that. And again, a lot of that depended also was we did a very good job on first down, and so it kind of, you know, first and second down we took them out of that. The screen wasn't an option. You know, when you get them in a lot of 3rd and 8s and 3rd and 9s, you know, the screen's a lot of times not a viable option for an offense. And so a lot of times they didn't get to throw as many as you know, probably they would have liked, because again, how well we did on the run game early. And to me, that's a key every week. You stop the run, you stop a lot of things.
Coach, talk about Robert Alford. I mean, he's made 2 big plays 2 weeks in a row. Talk about his play thus far this season, a lot of preseason accolades and everything, and how has he lived up to the hype and everything?
Well, he's a great player. He's got a bunch of athletic abilities, no question. And I think he's in so much better at the mental part of his game and understanding what we're doing, understanding the tools, and throw in the bag, how to play his position. And he's made a lot of improvement there. And that's what you need anytime. You're better players, you're better athletes, you're great players. They've got to step up in big games. You know, they got to step up at critical times in any game and make plays for you. And he's been able to do that. I think he'll continue to do that as long as he doesn't start listening to the hype, and as long as he doesn't get distracted and start patting himself on the back, then he's going to continue to have a great year.
I think at one point the commentators pointed out that you would come out with 3 different punt formations and like 3 consecutive 4th downs. Is that just kind of something that you do to kind of keep your opponents on your toes on 4th down, especially with the success you've had converting them to?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a big part of it. Try to, some of the big parts is to make sure help not only your protection but your coverage, is to give them some other things they've got to be able to line up to and adjust to and move around to again, one, make sure you're getting your gunners down the field to protect. We struggled with that a little early, and we gave them some returns the first couple of weeks, pretty big, and so we kind of give them some different looks in there and things, try to change it up and again give them something to adjust to, and hopefully give Bo a better opportunity to get the ball out and get a better job of covering.
Talking to Pete at the beginning of the year, he was kind of disappointed with the demeanor, the swagger of the defense. That seems to have changed a little bit. It seems like Robert maybe has a big thing to do with that, with his competitiveness, and he's kind of almost outspoken to the line, getting close to crossing it. But the mental aspect of it, what has he done to liven up that defense and make, put the swagger back there?
Well, I think your swagger comes from confidence, comes from making plays, successful situation, and have success, especially in critical situations. But I think we're starting to get that. Not as much as I like. I think there's still some hesitations. Can we really do this? But I think we played well against the run the last 3 weeks. We've had a solid run defense. And at times, it's still, you can see that it's a breakdown here or there. It's not a physical domination or something by somebody else. It's a breakdown here or there. Somebody not doing their job. It's one of the reasons people have had success. And so I think we're grasping that, and we're gaining confidence every time we go out. And that's huge. And I really expect it's going to be huge, especially in the back half of the season, that we're going to have to play great run defense to go through that. Not only just Northwestern, but go through the rest of the stretch when you go UCA, Stephen F, and Sam Houston back to back. That's a pretty good stretch that we need to make sure we're playing great run defense first of all.
Your people describe pressure sacks and coverage sacks. Which is it with you guys? I know it's a team effort and all that, and sometimes it's both, but is it more, covering well enough that the guy has to eat it, or are you getting the heat? Do you have a feel for that?
Yeah, it's a big part of it. We play pretty aggressive coverage. We try to press. We press the line of scrimmage. A lot of reasons for that is really to buy time for our rush to get there. Make sure we can't get rid of the ball early. Try to limit the quick drop, the quick release, the timing routes, and to give our rush a chance to get there. A lot of it is, again, if you don't have a place to go, you got a chance to get pressure. We always talk about jokes, coordinate your coverages. It means that if you can't cover them, sack them. If you can't sack them, cover them. That's true coordination of your coverage.